Okay, back to Introduction to Starfleet Battles. Going to be looking all about the cadet scenario number 4, called the Dakota Incident. Yeah, because I'll talk about what's on the screen when it comes up. But patrolling the neutral zone, the constellation. Okay, so this is the constellation right here, and its setup hex. The constellation right there. That's all it is for the introduction to Starfleet battles. Just have the ship's silhouette and abbreviation of the name. It starts in 0720. That comes later. Receives a distress message from the freighter SS Dakota. SS Dakota is actually off the screen up here. Right there, there's the freighter SS Dakota. At least I think that is anyways. I'm assuming that's the freighter ship. The freighter has lost engine power and has drifted out of the neutral zone into Klingon territory. Announcing its intentions to enter Klingon territory for humanitarian purposes, the Constellation moves in to rescue the freighter's crew. 3 Klingon warships appear and begin firing on the Constellation. Okay, I'm actually going to be playing with just the one Klingon ship here, but that will come up again. This scenario is designed for one player and the robot opponent. I'm not going to use the robot opponent rules, at least not this time. I don't normally use those types of rules anyway, so I'm not going to do anything different this time. So I'm just going to play both sides. It can be played with 2 players, but in that case you should only use one Klingon ship. So since I'm playing both sides, that's why I'm just going to play. That is why I'm just playing with the War, the Klingon. Again, this is a cadet battle cruiser, but the name is War. Okay, required materials. You'll need the 16 impulse movement chart. So here is the 16 impulse movement chart, the basic impulse procedure chart. That's up here under a clip, so I'm not going to move it. But there's the cadet sequence of play and the basic impulse procedure charts up there next to the turn track. We've got our map, the counters for the Klingon D6 battle cruisers. Again, I'm playing just with War, but if you play with 3, you have 2 more, like these guys right here, 2 more Klingon cadet battle cruisers. All 8 of the Klingon drones. So I've got all 8 of these Klingon drones here, which will be used, I'm sure. So the Federation cruiser Constellation, the counter for freighter A. Okay, so I think that is right. I think I do have the right freighter. Okay, and the SSDs. SSDs for the Federation cadet cruiser. SSD for the Klingon cadet cruiser. Okay. Use the entire map. Again, this is the very unfortunately colored blue map that came with my Introduction to Starfleet Battles game. Klingon ship cannot leave the map. The Federation ship is immediately destroyed if it tries to leave the map, except from the bottom edge. Okay, bottom being this way. So that's kind of top, left, right, and bottom. So the Federation ship can exit off the bottom side of the map. Scenario setup. Okay, so the freighter SS Dakota is in hex 1505, again off screen up there. It is stopped. It cannot move. Federation cruiser Constellation set up here is 0720, facing A. So up on that side of the map you do have an A, B, C, D, E, F diagram to key your 6 directions. Klingon battlecruiser War here, 2829, facing F. Again, facing that way, F. You should play the first scenario first time with the first Klingon ship. That's what I'm doing. The Klingon ships are controlled. No, I'm not going to use the robot opponent again. Okay, for purposes of acceleration limits, all ships are presumed to have been moving at a speed of 10 on the turn before the scenario begins. I think I talked about this last time. I know I'm going to be moving 13 and I'm going to be turning around and trying to weaken the Klingon battle cruiser first. That's more just for jumping into the rules mechanics again. Length, the scenario continues until the constellation has been destroyed or has left the map. Speed, the speed of each ship will be determined by the energy allocation procedure on the start of each turn. The drones will move at a speed of 16. Special rule, the freighter cannot move or fire weapons. The Klingon ships will not fire at the freighter. Objective, the Federation ship is trying to rescue the crew of the freighter. To accomplish this, the constellation must move through a hex adjacent to the SS Dakota. If the constellation does this and escapes off the map through a hex ending in 34 or the bottom of the map, the Federation player wins. Otherwise, the Federation player loses. It is difficult, if not impossible. This is the advice given. It is difficult, if not impossible, with this scenario to win this scenario without crippling at least one Klingon ship. Try to hit their rear shields. Try to hit their rear shields where they're weaker. So I see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Klingon cadet cruiser has their rear shield is only 8, 2, 4, 6, and shields 5 and 3 are also 8. So all of the rear 3 are weaker than the front 3 shields. Yeah, quite a bit stronger in the front. Comparison with the Federation. So 8 for the rear shield, actually all 3 of the rear 3 shields. The Federation has 10, okay, so stronger. This scenario becomes dramatically easier with later rules. Yeah, they call this instant replay. For more challenge, add more Klingons. Okay. Let's talk about a little bit of the flavor text here. I'm going to go ahead and use it because this is the type of game where I think, for me anyways, I got to soak up all the theme, because otherwise, I don't know. Otherwise, maybe it's too procedural. But anyways, the neutral zone on the Federation Klingon border. The neutral zone is an area of some 750 parsecs or 2,400 light years wide, running part but not all of the length of the border. Both powers may colonize planets in this area and may operate a limited number of armed ships in this area. Bases may be established in the neutral zone but may be used by either party. It is important to remember that while the Klingon Empire and United Federation of Planets are not exactly on friendly terms, they are not technically at war. Some trade takes place between the powers, and warships from both powers make port calls at the other's bases. Great efforts are made to show force without actually using it in order to influence neutral planets in this zone. Penetrating the neutral zone into foreign territory without the permission of the other side is a violation, though not a formal act of war, that may be resolved to the satisfaction of the violated party, assuming he detects the violation and that his border patrols can reach the point of that violation in time to do anything about it. In the Dakota Incident, the Federation acted within the treaty to perform a humanitarian rescue. As per the treaty, the Constellation notified the Klingons where it was going and for what reason. Within the treaty, the Klingons were not required to believe the Federation claims. The local Klingon commander may have suspected a Federation trick, which is not unknown, or may have staged the operation himself in an attempt to embarrass the Federation. Combat within the neutral zone is limited because both participants must endeavor to make it look like the other party's fault. Similarly, both sides want any border violations to appear as the other party's fault.